Hello student, my name is Dr. Shivali Verma. I am Associate Professor Physics in Department of Basic Science. Today we are dealing with the module 2 and topic is resolving power of grating. Before going through the resolving power of grating, we have to be discuss about the two things. One is a resolving power and another one is a release criteria. Yeah, because before knowing the grating resolving power, we have to be know the what is the resolving power basically. So what is the resolving power? The resolving power of an optical instrument is an ability to form separate images of two nearby objects. Suppose that you are having a two nearby object, or we can say that two lines having the same intensity and placed very near to each other. So if your eye or an a telescope, if you are watching this with a telescope or by your eyes or by a microscope, you if that microscope or a telescope or any optical instrument which make the two separate images of these two lines, then only we can say that that ability of this optical instrument is known as a resolving power. Okay, so I think so. Now what is resolving power? It is clear to you now. Which thing or which phenomena or which physical event is obstacle our resolution? Why we are not able to see two nearby objects very clearly, or the images formed by the optical instruments are not clear? The main reason behind that is a diffraction patterns. Now what is this diffraction pattern? As you know that when light is when light is passing through or a light is incident on any obstacle, then it's banned from that sharp edges of the optical and enter into the geometrical shadow of that obstacle. That is known as a diffraction. And what are the diffraction pattern? You know that single slit forms some other diffraction pattern, and slits are formed different types of diffraction patterns. So this diffraction patterns we have already discussed in our lectures in which I have taught you about the single slit diffraction or a n slit diffraction. So when two points are very close to each other are seen with the help of an optical instrument, and that diffraction pattern is formed to a close to each other, that they are overlap. It means that whenever you are seeing this two lines, what happen? Your eye are the work as a single slit. So when the images are formed by if the lights are coming from this two lines to your eye, then what happen? At the eye, the diffraction patterns of these lines are formed. So our eye is a single slit, so you know that the single slit in the diffractions pattern single slit, uh, the first maxima is formed, and after that the minimas and secondary maximas are formed. So if the diffraction pattern of first image or first line is overlapped with the diffraction pattern of the maxima of the diffraction pattern of second line, then we cannot be visualize these two lines separately. Okay, why? Because the maximas are overlap. Once the maximas are overlap, the images forms are overlap, we cannot see them separately. So when we will see them separately, so for that release gives its criticism, and according to Rayleigh's criticism, two lines or two objects are known as a just resolve. Just resolve, and it means not the clearly resolved. It's a just resolve means we can see there is a some two objects are situated, but it is not clear that which type of objects they are. But yeah, we can know this thing that yeah, there is some object. Okay, so according to Rayleigh's criteria, two close points or object or two spectral lines of equal intensity are said to be a just resolved by an optical instrument when a principal maxima of a diffraction pattern of one coincide with the diffraction first minima of a diffraction pattern of other. Means that suppose that there are two lines, one is one of blue color and another one is of orange color, and suppose that their maximas are formed. So you have seen here that if the maxima of a blue color line is overlap with the first minima of a orange color line of the diffraction pattern, then we can say that these two objects are just resolved. Okay, but if these two maximas are overlapped to each other, then we can say that this is unresolved. And if these maximas are well separate, then we can say that it is a clearly resolved. So Rayleigh's criticism is given only for the just resolution condition, not for the clearly resolution or a unresolved condition. This can be a well known, because when the two lines, the maximas or pattern or maxima pattern of one diffraction pattern is overlapped with the first minimum of a diffraction pattern of other, then if it is just resolved, then it means that when these patterns are clearly far away from each other, then we can say that these two lines are the clearly resolved. No, now this is about the Rayleigh's criteria. Now moving ahead, now we know the definition of the resolving power and we know the Rayleigh's criteria. So now I'm going to be explain resolving power of a grating. Because grating is an optical instrument, it is a diffraction grating, and it's able to form the separate image, separate wavelength of a given light source. So we can define the resolving power of a grating in a such a way that the resolving power of a grating may be defined as its ability to form a separate diffraction maximas of two wavelengths nearby wavelength. Means we can say that if the two wavelengths are very nearby, then if a grating is able to make a separate diffraction maxima of two wavelength, then we can say that this is the resolving power of the grating, or that time whatever the ability of the making the two different line maxima by this grating is known as a resolving power of a grating. Okay, now resolving power of a grating is mathematically divided by lambda by d lambda. What is this lambda? Lambda is actually mean value of two wavelength, and d lambda is the difference between the two wavelength. Means because we are always talking like that nearly situated or a nearby, so that if lambda, if we are going to take lambda, if we denote one wave with the help of lambda, then we can be denote the second wave with the help of lambda plus d lambda, and this d lambda is a shows the very small difference between these two wavelengths. Okay, so now I am going to be do the mathematical expression for the resolving power. This is the common expression for the resolving power. Now I am going to express the mathematical expression for resolving power of diffraction grating. So let us consider there is a one light beam having a wavelength lambda and lambda plus d lambda falling on a grating AB, which having E plus D grating element and n number of slits. After passing through the grating, form a diffraction pattern which can be seen through the telescope. Now, if the patterns are very close to each other, they are overlap and cannot be seen separately. However, if they satisfy Rayleigh's criteria, it means that the two wavelengths are the just resolve only in the condition when the center maxima of one wavelength falls on the first minima of the other. It means that we can take a situation, and we cannot take a situation of clearly resolved, and we cannot be take the situation of the unresolved. Why? Because in the unresolved condition, the things are not resolved by that optical instrument, and in a clearly resolved condition, we get the very clear images. So that time maybe the abilities change, but at the position where we can calculate it is a just resolved. Just resolved means that things are not unresolved and even not clearly resolved. So we can choose a position where the two wavelengths are just resolved. So what is the condition for just resolved? As according to Rayleigh's criteria, the center maxima of one falls on the first minima of other. Okay, here we are representing the our consideration in the form of one diagram. Suppose that this is our grating AB and two wavelengths. One is a have shown by the dark red color, another one by the light red color. One light source which containing this two wavelength, one having a wavelength lambda, another one is a lambda plus d lambda. Suppose that this light color wavelength is denoted by lambda, and this dark color red is denoted by lambda plus d lambda. Okay, so these two wavelengths are just in the condition of just resolve. That's why we can consider like that in the direction of theta we get the maxima of lambda. In the direction of theta, you have seen here that in the direction of theta we get the maxima of the lambda, and in the direction of theta plus d theta we get the maxima of lambda plus d lambda. And so lambda plus d lambda is a little bit greater than the lambda. That's why its diffraction angle is also greater than the lambda. As this can be proven by the this grating equation, that if lambda is greater, its angle is greater. Okay, so but because we are calculating the thing in the at the for the position of just resolution, so in the condition of just resolution, the minima of lambda, the first minima of lambda must be false on the first maxima of lambda plus d lambda. So the minima is also the minima of lambda is also formed in the direction of theta plus d theta. It means that in the direction of theta plus d theta we get a two thing. One is a maxima of lambda plus d lambda, and another one is a minima of lambda. Okay, so we are calculating the principal maxima by the grating equation, and you know that E plus G sin theta is equal to n lambda is the grating equation, and minima for grating is calculating by this equation, and the equation is n E plus d theta is equal to m lambda. But because minima is formed in the direction of theta plus d theta of lambda, that's why instead of writing the theta, I am writing here theta plus d theta. I think so it is clear for you that the condition for minima, or we can say that the equation for minima in grating is n E plus d sine theta is equal to m lambda. But here, because minima of lambda is forming in the direction of theta plus d theta, so instead of writing the theta, I have written here theta plus d theta. So this is my equation for the minima. But what is the value of m? Because if the this maxima is a nth order minima, so the adjacent minima, or we can say that the first minima, the position of first minima of this nth maxima is what? So it is equal to nn plus 1. Why we can say that nn plus 1? Because we know that we cannot write the position of m is n plus 1, because once you write down the m plus n plus 1, means nth is the position of first maxima, and if you want to write the first minima position is n plus 1, then it is incorrect, because n plus 1, because in order, if you are substituting the value of n1, then here the value of n is become 1, and 1 plus 1 is a 2, and this satisfied the position of the second maxima. Okay, so if we are putting the n plus 1, then it is incorrect. So what values are not considered or not accepted for the n? We know that we cannot consider 0, we cannot consider capital N, we cannot consider 2n, up to n, and we cannot consider any value. And n means what? Small n is a order, capital N is a number of lines. So up to nn we cannot be consider any value for the m. So what is the position of adjacent minima of nth maxima? So after nn and then whatever the value, it is it will be a consider. So after nn the value is nn plus 1. So instead of writing the m, we are writing here nn plus 1. So what is this? This is my equation for position of minima, for what? For lambda. Okay, now we know that at the same position the maxima is also forming of lambda plus d lambda. So maxima is calculating by the this equation, and this is the grating equation. So here just we are doing some changes according to lambda plus d lambda. So e plus d is same, so we are not going to change it. Sin theta, sin is same, but theta is changed now because lambda plus d, the maximum of lambda plus d lambda is forming in the direction of theta plus d theta. So instead of writing theta, I am writing here theta plus d theta. Okay, now n is same, and we are going to change the lambda or we can replace this lambda by the lambda plus d lambda. Why we are replacing lambda by lambda plus d lambda? Because this is the maximum of lambda plus d lambda. So instead of writing lambda, we are writing here lambda plus d lambda. So this is my new equation, and this equation is for the condition of maxima for lambda plus d lambda. Now what we are doing, we are just multiplying and capital N both side. Why we are doing this thing? Because when we are multiplying n both side in a above equation, we are getting here n e plus d sine theta plus d theta. And if we are going through this equation, equation number 1, then here also we find that n is equal to e plus d sine theta plus d theta. So both in equation 1 and equation 2, the the left hand sides are equal, so we can say that the right hand sides are also equal. So by equation 1 and 2 we get equation. So what is now our equation? It is a n, a small n multiplied by capital plus of 1 multiplied by lambda is equal to n and lambda plus d lambda. Now whatever the things are going to be a cancel it. When we are multiplying n lambda with the lambda, we are getting n lambda, n lambda, and plus lambda. Okay, uh, equal to what? Equal to n capital N and multiply by small n lambda, the plus n d lambda. Okay, n d lambda. So now you have seen here that nn lambda and nn lambda is common. So these are the cancel out. So what we get? We get this lambda is equal to capital N multiply by d lambda. And as you know that the definition according to the mathematical formation formula of resolving power is lambda by d lambda. So I take this d lambda here. So what we will get? We will get n lambda. So this is the resolving power of grating. So resolving power of grating is depending upon the order of a spectrum. N is known as the order of a spectrum, you know this thing very well, and capital N is known as the total number of lines on grating. So thank you very much.